All right, today's kind of just a fun lesson to discuss the differences between specific wheelies here. We're only going to cover a couple of them because there's a bunch of different kinds, but we're going to discuss the difference between sit-down wheelies versus what is called, some of you riders have probably heard about it, knee knockers. They're a lot of fun. Both of these sit-downs look cool, knee knockers look cool. A lot of people think sit-downs look the coolest. It really depends on your preference, but we're gonna hop out on my 2015 FZ07 and I'm gonna show you first-person views and explain deeper on the difference between sit-downs and knee knockers. Sit-downs are pretty self-explanatory. If you're gonna ask me, you're sitting down while doing a wheelie. Knee knockers, you're utilizing your knee. Pretty much always your left knee because you're gonna have your other foot on your foot brake. We're gonna go deeper into that. But if you want to really get your wheelies down, I have an entire wheelie course. I can walk you through wheelies in about 8 lessons and you will be hitting balance point pretty quickly. That's in the description. Also, if you want a cardo of any sort, if you want Bluetooth music, friends, cardosystems.com, School of Wheelie, code 10% off, check that out. But yeah, that's what we're going to be discussing today on the bike. Sit downs versus knee knockers. Highly recommend getting a private road, getting permission to be riding on the road, and wearing full gear. We're gonna keep it safe. We're gonna keep it legal as well. So that's what we're gonna be discussing today on the FZ07, sit downs versus knee knockers and what they are and which one is better. Spoiler alert, really neither of them are better. They both have their pros and cons, and it really is personal preference. So with all that being said, I'm gonna gear up. I'm gonna fire up the FZ07, and we're gonna go show you the difference between knee knockers and sit down wheelies. All right, we are out on the FZ07 again. Today, as you see, we are discussing the difference between sit-down wheelies and knee knocker wheelies. Seems kind of like an obvious statement, what's the difference between the two, but I figured I'd just give the newer riders or newer people learning to wheelie exactly the difference. So when you hear people talk about it, you know what they're talking about. So, you know, before I turn the bike on, kind of just show you the difference here. Obviously, a sit-down, you're just going to be sitting on the seat. Obviously, it's a sit-down wheelie. You sit down, pop it up, do your wheelie, right? A knee knocker, depending on the bike, but a lot of times you're going to have your knee on the seat, right? And you're going to have your leg over. But you are essentially have one foot on the foot brake, and you are going to have your knee somewhere along these lines on the seat with your foot hanging over, or you're also going to have your knee way back here on the fairing, if you can see that, like the back of the seat. For me, I'm normally somewhere along here with my foot on the back, and I kind of move my foot around to steer, if that makes sense. So that's what a knee knocker looks like. Let's go ahead though and fire the bike up and give you guys some good examples of it in motion, right? So you can see the difference, because there's so many different wheelies. Knee knockers, staggered, stand-up, seat standers, sit-downs. I mean, there's a lot, but some of the main ones is staggered, or stand-up is what most would call it, and a knee knocker and a sit-down. So we're going to show you the knee knocker and the sit-down, kind of show you the difference. If I had to choose which one I like the best, I like knee knockers. They're my favorite. I feel like they're easy to control. I can see over my bike. But sit-downs definitely look pretty cool when you're out there sitting down, riding a wheelie for a while. So it's really just personal preference. It all depends. But one thing I love about knee knockers and staggers, but especially knee knockers, since that's what we're talking about, you can see over the bike pretty easy. With all that being said, before we dive into the wheelie, guys, full gear, private road. Let's do this legally and safely. I am on a private road with no traffic. I have permission to use this. I have full gear, full gloves, leather, pants, shoes, full face helmet. Wear your gear, guys. Keep it legal, keep it safe. So let's get into it. So I feel like it goes without even saying. I mean, a sit down is pretty straightforward. You're just sitting down on your bike, sitting on your butt. It's kind of, the name is in itself. Knee knocker, the name has a little more creativity. It's not just called like a knee wheelie or something like that, you know what I mean? It's a knee knocker, whereas a sit down is just a sit down, pretty straightforward. But regardless, again, sit down, you're just sitting down. I mean, that's what I'm doing here, just sitting down on my bike. Obviously, you can see, sitting in a wheelie, using that rear brake, smooth throttle. That's a sit down wheelie, straightforward. Now a knee knocker, we're going to turn it around, give you guys a first person example, is exactly what I said. Your knee goes on your seat. Depends on the bike you're on. It can be different for all bikes, but it's the same general idea no matter what. You got your knee on your seat, and that's pretty much, I'll show you right here. Knee on the seat, if you can see that, foot kind of hanging off the back or on the rear fairing, and then you're just going to get the wheel up. And now instead of your weight being on your butt from sitting down, your weight is on your knee on the seat. We're going to go over my favorite bump again, per usual. It could have been worse. As you can see, knee knockers, you have a good view. You have a really good view of the above you. You can see your wheel going up and down. It's actually, knee knockers are a lot of fun in my opinion, from wheeling for years. But that's a knee knocker and a sit down. That's the difference. Again, knee knockers, another thing is you have like a lot more body movement control. Like when you're sitting down, you're locked one with the bike for the most part. Knee knockers, I can lean back, I can lean forward, I can let the bike move beneath me. I just feel like you have a little bit more control. That's what I like about them personally. And again, sit downs are sweet too. They look cool. And this is not I'm not trying to make an argument for knee knockers, right? It's all personal preference. All wheelies are cool. All of them have style. We're just covering the difference. Sit downs, you're sitting on your butt. Knee knockers, you're on your knees. That's pretty much it. Pros of the knee knockers, you can see above your bike. It's also fun watching your wheel, in my opinion. Sit downs, you got to look around your bike, which kind of has style to it too, right? It's kind of cool to be able to, you know, throw your wheel up, and you kind of got to pick a side, right? On this road, it's pretty graded hard to the left, so if I want to see, I got to look to the right, keep myself going straight. But it's just all personal preference. All personal preference. Or if you want to hit both, you could go sit down to a knee knocker. Right, little combo. Here's the bump again. And then from knee knocker back to sit down. I didn't quite hold that one out, but you get the picture. So yeah, hopefully that was able to share some knowledge with you newer riders. For you guys that already know about all this, maybe you were able to take something from it. If you really want to dive in though, again, and learn wheelies from the ground up, I have a course, a wheelie course in the description. Check it out. By the time you're done with that course, you will be wheeling your motorcycle. It's the best feeling in the world. So definitely check that out. Thanks guys for tuning into this episode, and I'll catch you next time.